As I walk, I'm gonna try not to talk too loud because this evening I'm actually on a ranch in Northeast Texas, and I've been tasked with trying to get photographs of some California valley quail. And you may be thinking, California valley quail, kind of out of place there in Texas. Well, that's kind of the point. There's a local university, Texas A&M Commerce, and Dr. Kelly Reyna is doing a research project to try to gauge the efficacy of turning loose these California valley quail in place where bobwhite quail have long been extirpated. And so this ranch has beautiful habitat. It's in really good shape. And last night when we came out to scout the birds, we actually saw quite a few in this area where I'm setting up. So where this fence kind of makes this corner, there's a lot of birds kind of moving through this corridor. I think probably this is a better morning setup than an evening setup because the sun will come up back to the east. But now we've got this row of trees right along where I'm set up, and we're in good even shade. And so if the birds come in, I'll be able to get some nice photos. So I'm gonna get in the blind. I'm gonna set up for, maybe an hour, see what comes out, and then hopefully these birds will be doing the same pattern they were last night and traveling through this corridor. So if I see them, they should be 10, 15 yards away and should be close enough to get some nice shots. So we'll just see what happens. I got set up in the blind, and so far no quail, but it's still a little bit early. I think they haven't started going to roost yet, so I think we still have time to see a few birds. What's cool about this time of night, especially in this part of Texas, you start hearing the barred owls calling one another as the evening comes, as the evening is upon us. And it's a little bit hot in the blind right now, if I'm being honest with you. We've got a northeast wind, so the wind's coming from behind me, but my back window's closed because I've got my southwest and northwest windows open, so it doesn't have much of a cross breeze coming through here. But it's tolerable. It's not too bad. But I'm just sitting here with my typical setup. If you've watched any of these videos before, I suggest if you're using these pop-up blinds, which are good tools, by the way, that you always have windows that are perpendicular to each other open. So I'm sacrificing my view to the east. I'm sacrificing my view to the northeast, just because if you've got windows that are parallel to one another that are open, you'll be essentially silhouetted through the two windows. So if you keep two windows just perpendicular to one another and kind of sit behind those windows in the shadows, you can pretty much go undetected by really, I think, most birds. So what's the big deal with bobwhites? In a nutshell, grassland bird populations in North America are in a free fall. According to Audubon, grassland species are among the most imperiled group of birds in the United States. Total populations have declined by more than 40% since 1966. California valley quail are a more resilient bird than the bobwhites. They've been successfully transplanted all over the world, and if Reyna's hypothesis proves true, the sound of a quail that's new to Texas may be heard soon. Meanwhile, on this patch of northeast Texas prairie, the California valley quail make an appearance. I can't believe that just happened. I was sitting here in the blind just enjoying nature in front of me, hoping a deer or a pig would walk out in this long lane that's in front of me. There's a separation between the fence line and the trees to the north of it, and I was hoping something would step out there. But out of nowhere I heard two birds fly down, and I knew by the sound, because I've heard it before, that they were quail. And they literally landed probably 5 feet to my left, just right behind the blind, and I could hear them, and they were really close. But I cracked the window on the blind and looked out, and they were just right there. And so they took forever feeding back there, and I thought they weren't going to come around. Well, finally, they started walking behind the blind, and then they walked around the corner of it, and they were so close. I couldn't even grab my phone off the floor to try to video them. They were just right 2 feet from the blind, just right there, and I couldn't get. And it's exciting, but it's frustrating that you just can't get a picture of them. And so eventually, luckily, they went off to the northeast, and then it was a male and female together, and they kind of hung around. And I was able to get a few shots, not really what I wanted, but a few shots nonetheless. And then they started leaving. Well, about that time, another bird came in, a male, and he stood around for a while. Well, then the other male and female saw it and then came back. So they milled around maybe 15, 20 feet away from me for a while out my side window, and I didn't have my seat positioned correctly, so I struggled to get pictures at that angle, but they were so close I couldn't move my seat around. And so they eventually moved right in front of me. I was able to get the camera moved around. I was in good position because I set up to shoot to the southwest anyway, and they just stayed out there for 10 minutes, and a cardinal came in, and it was so exciting. And it's just so lucky that the first night of this project I was able to get some really nice shots of these birds. And again, this is a project that's being worked on by Dr. Kelly Rain at Texas A&M University in Commerce, my alma mater, I'm proud to say. He's with the Department of Agriculture and Wildlife Sciences, and they're doing a project in East Texas to try to see if they can translocate California valley quail into suitable habitats in this part of the state. Part of the state, by the way, that the bobwhite quail have been decimated in, and just to see if just a little variability in the habitat, the California valley quail can make this a nice home. And early indications, according to Dr. Reyna, are so far so good. The quail are taken to this habitat and they love it. And I saw it tonight. These birds are just thriving, and I was so proud to be able to be out here. And it's such a blessing to be asked to work on this project with them and be out here to try to photograph these birds. Originally I'd planned to be out here for 2 or 3 weeks, almost every evening and a lot of mornings over that time, but if I have to quit today, I'm in good shape. But I'm going to come out a few more times this week, come out a couple times in the morning, and see if I can't get some more really nice shots of these birds. It's just so awesome.